Hello there everybody, welcome to another video by me, Mr. Drone. You will see right there I'm in front of our magnificent stadium, Debunking Stadium, home of Everton FC. That's the south stand right there, the back of the south stand. I'm on Walter Street. Today, come over this way because I'm going to fly the drone from here today. And today, do you know what? I'm just going to cover some of the negativity for a change. Now, it's not all negativity we get, but do you know what? I went into the shop yesterday. The Everton store opened for the first time at the Everton Stadium. It's open today as well. You'll see that when I put the drone up. But yesterday there was a bit of negativity that come over. From that, do you know what? There was positivity as well. There was quite a lot of moaning and that yesterday, if I'm honest. And I just want to address some of it, bring some of it up and give you my kind of comments and answers on that. Okay. At the end of the day, you know, we covered a lot of positive comments and good information and all that. Probably good to get to address some of the negativity as well. So let's get up in the air and have a look at it. This is Debunking Stadium, home of Everton Football Club. Covering some of your comments and that from yesterday. Okay, let's get up there. Right, okay people, you can see we are up in the air right now, taking off from Walter Street, and we are looking at the southeast corner there, where we can see that lovely crest coming into view. And as I said, I'm going to go over some of your questions and comments, so we'll get going on them straight away as I sift through my phone to find the very first one, which is from Royal Blue Scouser, who says, why don't the club let the fans know exactly how the ground is going to look like when it's finally finished? You can't tell me that they don't know yet themselves. I would at least put to bed all the speculation and moaning, especially concerning the pathetic lack of Everton branding on the outside of the stadium. A few crests on the corners is ridiculous, considering the amount of Debunking branding all over the place. Royal Blue Scouser, yeah, understand what you're saying, mate. I really do. That why don't they just tell us? Well, there has been illustrations and that, hasn't there? There's been quite a few, and you know, I know you say like 4 crests around, but you're looking at it from here. And by the way, I understand this is when I say about covering negativity, it's not. And also, sorry, before I start on that, any comments on that I've picked up, I'm not just picking on you to highlight you to anybody else. You're not the only one that have raised these comments. Okay, so I want to make that clear. It's not just me grabbing yours and picking on you if I bring one of yours up. But Royal Blue Scouts, yeah, so you said about so remember, these crests will light up at night as well. We've got a crest on each corner. We've got Everton official store down there. We've got on these, let me pick one out. So these lampposts here, we see we've got the brackets there to put the banners up. It'll be the same sort of banners that are on, you know, like the Everton Valley, that's what I'm on about, up by Goodison, where they have the blue banners each side. I'm sure we're going to have that. We've got some blue fences. Look. No, but look, I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. There's going to be, you know, Debunking above the shop there on this roof. We know it's going on the south. We know it's on the roof of the west and the east stands, which we can see there, and we know it'll be on the like I say, the east and the west roofs, like that area above the glass there, and it'll be the same on the west. So I take your point, and you're saying why don't Everton just tell us? Well, I'm sure they probably want it to be like maybe a bit of a surprise when they add more blue and stuff like that, or maybe they just, you know, they they just don't want to tell us at that point. I take your point completely, Royal Blue Scouser, and there's a lot of people obviously saying about the branding, the Everton, and it needs to be more Everton and everything. I get it, but look, and I'll be saying this statement, this sentence, I'll be saying quite a lot probably during this video. Look what we've got. Look what they brought us. You know, we were in Goodison for, what was it, 133 years, something like that. We were at Goodison. So to have this stadium now that they've brought us, would we like a bit more blue? Yeah, but you know, it's not a game changer, is it? We've got this magnificent stadium, and we need to like be grateful for it. In my opinion, I take people's points that we could do with more blue, but that's, you know, my opinion is I'm just absolutely made up with the stadium. I think it's magnificent. But yeah, everybody else's thoughts and comments on that, please, people. What are your thoughts? Should we want it to be bright, you know, royal blue everywhere around? I think it looks a bit like, you know, quite classy. Anyway. Thanks for that, Royal Blue Scouser, and as I say, I'm not picking on you, mate. You're not the only one to mention it. You're just the one I've picked out. Moving on, I've got Velocet 2. It says, don't know if your current drone is sharper or if it was the light, but I spotted quite a few X's in the brickwork. Did you, mate? Yeah. So that was from my video yesterday where I did the shop. So let's have a look. If you, it might be the drone, or it might be the lighting. I can see them myself, but you've got to look for them. Like there, for example, you can see it there. Do you know what I mean? So Velocet, did anybody else pick up on that at all? That you could see some of the Archibald Leach design, that Art Deco design in it. It's funny, isn't it? Because sometimes you see it in some places and then sometimes you don't. And I actually think, well, I was told by Lango Rourke that was the point. Look below that crest there, you can see it in the wall. So I was told by Lango Rourke that was the point. It was a subtle touch to Archibald Leach in that design. Yeah, thanks for that Velocet. Everybody else, comments, can you see it more or less at the moment? Like I say, Velocet, you're right, it could have been the drone, could have been the light, could be both. Moving on, cheers for that. We've got DAC 7787, and I had loads of this. Somebody actually made a post, I think it was on Facebook, about these comments regarding the staircase in the shop. Now, you'll have to watch my video from yesterday. If you haven't seen it, I'll post it at the end of this. I'll post a link to it at the end of this video. And DAC 7787 put, why couldn't the staircase to the upper floor be within the shop? Looks like you have to exit and walk up a fire escape. Yeah, it does look a bit like that, right, DAC? It did look a bit like that. That's why I actually forgot. You'd have maybe seen in my video, I think I said I forgot there was an upstairs. Because of that, I couldn't, it didn't look like it was, you know, you had to actually open doors and go to it. But they're probably taking on all these comments in there about it, you see. So yeah, I get your point there. It did look a bit like that. Moving on, we've got then Nothing JG7FW says, okay, hope they paint the walls as you walk up the stairs, or do they leave them? I like the retro, especially the coloured badge, a lot more classy than the plain one now, Nick. So the walls and that and this was a nice one that I brought up, this comment, because the staircase up to the first floor of the shop got some real pelters yesterday, and did it look a little bit maybe unfinished? Maybe. Did I care? No, not whatsoever, not one bit. I was just absolutely overjoyed that I was in our new megastore It's fantastic in there. So if you haven't been, and I know loads of people are making, like, we're putting comments on about the staircase and a few things about the store, but if you haven't been, you need to go. It's brilliant. It's a fantastic store, and it's so much better than what we had. So just take the time to go down there if you haven't been yet. Highly recommended. It was great to be in there. Loads of space. Was really good, because I did feel like the one up at Goodison did get quite clustered at times. So yeah, but the walls going up the stairs, I think they will do something with them. Maybe put some, you know, some pictures or something up there. I'm not sure, but I think they will. Nothing, but it's not a big deal. Moving on, got William Watson 228 says, Nick, after all those months trying to get the drone camera to see inside, it must have seemed quite surreal to actually be filming out from inside. Did you see the grab machine? Okay, so William, yeah, I was doing this loads, wasn't I? Trying to look through the windows, and you can see, I'll tell you what, from this angle you can see some of the tops in there. Should have come there. When I went face on, I just used to get reflections, didn't I? First time I tried it from an angle, you can see a bit more. But yeah, it was quite surreal being in there. And do you know what they've got up here? They've got a couch. They've got like a couch set up upstairs. Upstairs is where you can get the names and stuff printed on your t-shirts and that, and loads more. All the retro tops and that are up there. But yeah, it was weird. I stood there for a bit just looking out. It shows as well the magnitude of this area down here is shown a lot when you stand in that window looking out. Hiya mate, you okay? Yeah, you okay? It's massive, this area. But yeah, it was surreal. And you've said about the grab machine. Did I see the grab machine? So yeah, I did, and I had to go, and I won a lanyard. So if you buy an away top or kit from the shop, you get a token to have a go of one of those grab machines, like what you get in the fair, with normally has like little cuddly toys in it for the kids and that. You can have a go with that and see what you win. I did say to the guy there, what's the best thing you can win, and he just said basically you'll have to find out. Have a go and find out, so he wouldn't tell me. Tell you what, you looking inside that store now, see well more, can't you? If you can see those, the couches are like right there somewhere, just can't see them. So yeah, I won a lanyard from the grab machine. So if you're buying a weight top, guys, get a go of a grab machine. Thanks for that, William. Let's moving on. We've got Lunatic Ostrich, who says, you're looking for what? At 3 minutes 34. This was funny. Loads of people brought this up. Loads of people mentioned this. At 3 minutes 34 in my video, one of the staff said to me, are you looking for anything in particular? And I said, yes, I'm looking for young girls' stuff. A lot of people, I don't think, heard me say stuff. So I was looking for a top for my little girl, which later in the video I did show you that I'd purchased. I got her the away top, which she's made up with, by the way. But yeah, it seemed, the way I edited that, I just didn't think about it. Literally said, I'm looking for young girls, and then I said stuff. Oh god, quite a few of you picked up on that. Funny. Yeah, need to think things through. Very innocently edited, of course, but when I like had to go back, Lunatic, and have a listen to what I'd said, it was funny. Yeah, young girls stuff, basically kits in that I was looking for. Moving on. David Sims 4039 says, fab video as usual. Can you tell me, are the stairs the only way to access the upstairs floor? Thank you, Nick. And Mark Fitz has also said, hi mate, is there an internal lift for wheelchairs from ground to the upper floor of the store? Yes, there is a lift. I believe there are two, but don't quote me on that because I didn't go to the lifts. But there's definitely lifts there, guys, to access that upper floor in the shop. Okay, quite a lot of people did ask that as well, and yeah, I just picked out your comments there. There are lifts to the upper floor of the stadium. I just wanted to see what that said, screen 1 and screen 2. So yeah, 100% confirmation there's lifts to get on the upper floor of the store, guys. Thanks David, thanks Mark. Moving on, JPD 1878 said, can you visit the Everton Way and try and find your stone whilst you're there, or is that blocked off? JPD, so you'll see what they've done. A lot of people seem to be getting confused and thinking that they'd put these barriers there because they were expecting thousands and thousands and thousands of customers. No, it wasn't for that, JPD. It's for exactly what you've mentioned. It's blocked. They're blocking it off from. You can't access the rest of the site yet. It is still a building site. They are still doing bits of work to it in and around the place. You know, there's still little barriers and things, shutting things off. Still a few bits being done, so you cannot walk around, and that is so you cannot get access to the Everton Way to look for your stone, JPD. Okay, and that's what the barriers were there for, mate. Okay, not yet. I think this isn't confirmation, but I think the Roma game, it'll probably be all open. That might be the first time that everything's open for full access. Okay, don't quote me on that because I don't know for a fact. John Hunter 8737 says, nice to see a Littlewoods clock in there. I take it that is a copy, not original. David Badcock's replied saying the Echo states that AFC says it's one of the two from Goodison Park. And John replies saying, Brill, nice to see a bit of history in there. Yes, so in the store, literally this corner of the store, as soon as you walk in past this chap here at the door, to your left, so literally on this wall, there is one of the Littlewoods clocks from Goodison Park. And as David said there, that we haven't had that 100% confirmed, I don't think, from Everton, but according to the Echo, that is one of the ones from Goodison Park. So, and there's quite a bit of other memorabilia in there as well. So that's something that's from Goodison Park, John. Yeah, it was good to see as well. Yeah, it's nice touch, isn't it? Moving on. So we've got, look at this person. We've got Gilliver 88, right? Who says, laughing faces. Those barriers weren't needed. 61 people visited and a day's taking of around 250 apparently. Behave yourself. This has come from, I'll move on and just show you this picture now where this has come from. So it's this picture, which is it's a Liverpool page, Merseyside red versus Merseyside blue, a banter page. Big clue there, banter page. And whoever's made this post has put, Everton had their grand opening for the new club shop today. Big queues were expected, extra barriers were laid out and extra staff brought in to cope with the influx. In total, 61 people visited. Some staff were told to go home early as it wasn't that busy. The day's takings, £271.75. Everton Football Club. It's just absolute banter, and anyone that's believed that is, I'm sorry to say, is daft. It's funny that people take the time to make something like that up, but think about it, right? I was standing at the gates. For a start, I don't believe it was the grand opening. I think it's what people have mentioned on my page. It might have been just the opening, not grand. They didn't make it grand. They announced it the night before. They put these barriers up just to, like I say, these barriers aren't for thousands and thousands of people. These barriers are to control people and where they can literally access the shop, one in and one out. See the guys coming out there, so they're coming out the out, and the other ones where all the bikes are, that's to go in. Right, that's what the barriers are there for. Security are there. They need to ensure people don't access the rest of the stadium, aren't they, while there's still work being done. So let's look at the other bits. 61 people visited, and the day's takings £271 on one post. The other one says 250. I spent £100. Right, the lad before me had 2 kits. That's £100. the people after me had a couple of tops and a couple of other bits. I think like a cup in that. That's over 100 quid. So between 3 of us, we'd already spent more than what this post quoted, and 61 people visited. I seen at least 61 just whilst I was there. So it's just daft. It's just really daft. So no, people, that's a load of rubbish. And like I say, anyone believing stuff like that, just have a little word with yourself, because it's just not true. Right, we're moving round here because the next one, and look, that's a banter page, and I'm sure the person who made it up knew damn well it wasn't true or whatever, but it's what it's there for, banter, isn't it? Try and fish people in for a reaction, and it did. I think got a couple. So moving on, John Griffiths 4067 says, where did you park? And Dunk the Blue has put probably on the double yellows again. Come on, Dunk, I don't do stuff like that, eh? So John, where did I park? Where I am today, mate. In fact, no, yesterday. That's a lie. I actually got there early yesterday, and I was lucky enough to park down there yesterday, right outside that Holy Trinity area. Well, I believe the Holy Trinity's having a bit more trouble at the moment, but anyway, it's another story. Where I've parked today is here, and in fact, there I am. So yeah, here, and look, Dunk, I'm not on the double yellows, mate, look at that. So there's parking here on Walter Street. There's a few outside the ground I've shown, but if you go up Walter Street here, there's a car park there. Okay, there's also one at the Taipan. John, the Taipan car park is up here. There, you can see it just over there, past that WH Long supermarket. It's just in there. It's not that car park. You can see it before that, this side of that fence. But there's a few. Okay, it's not great. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like it, the parking's not great, but you should be able to get a space to go the shop. Okay. Sorry, Paul Pierce 8834 has also said in the next one, is there somewhere to park nearby? Nick wants to take the 8-month-old next week. So I've just shown you a few spaces there, Paul. Okay. And Dunk the Blues replies saying parking's a big problem thanks to the council. Yeah, Dunk the Blue is 100% right. Thanks to the council, it is an issue. But the places I've shown you there, you should be all right. If you want to just go to the store, you'll be all right in those places. Okay. Moving on. So we've got Henry B160 says, why would you space the signage like that and just leave it? And are there no lifts or escalators? Nothing but the best, really. Okay, so Henry B, yes, there's lifts. I've already explained that. David Sullivan said, what's wrong with the signage? It's above the entrance to the shop. The other door is going into the hospitality area. And then Henry's put, so why has the word store been placed closer to where it doesn't belong? I mean, seriously, Henry, a word so misplaced is known as a runt. Oh, God. Okay. Right. Henry, and again, Henry, don't mean to pick on you or nothing like that. I really don't. Because it's that you're not the only one. Honestly, there was other people that mentioned the sign. So, look where the store is. It fits perfectly in that gap, in that, like, window, so to speak. Okay. They've got to work with where they're putting it, and as David has put as well, the Everton official store is above the Everton official store. If you go over here, these two doors are for bars, restaurants and experiences, as it says. So that is not the store there. That is the store exactly where it says Everton store, and it looks as central as they could probably get it, using the window spacings that they had. So yeah, I mean, this is one of those, Henry, and as I say, you're not the only one, mate, but it's one of those where I'm like, come on, like, there's nothing wrong with it, is there? There's nothing wrong with it. Thanks for your comment though, mate. Honestly, you weren't the only one, so I brought it up, just picked yours out, Henry. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for the replies as well, David and Dunk. And then moving on, here's David Sullivan, now actually the person who replied on the last one, saying, good video, Nick, but for F's sake, moan yet again in the comments. I don't like the sign, I don't like the stairs, the Everton way is a millimetre off centre. Yeah, and this is a good one to finish on, David. And it's kind of like, I do these videos with your comments in that, but yeah, like, let's back out a bit, right, and look at it. Look at what we've got. I'm going to go a bit high because I'm going to circle around because I want to see the west as well. Just look at what we've got. So people said about the Everton store signage, there's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. People said about the lack of Everton blue and branding and that. Okay, I understand that, but we need to get some perspective and look at what we've got. We're coming from Goodison Park at 133, I think it was 33, 133-year-old stadium, to this. It's absolutely outstanding. And to get, gripes, you know what, it's not so much about, people obviously, there's expectation levels and stuff like that, and some people expect more. I genuinely just wanted a new stadium, something that we so desperately needed, and they spent like 750 million, give or take, on it. I'm made up with it. Could there be tweaks here and there? There could be tweaks here and there. Little bit more blue. I don't want loads and loads. A little bit would be nice. That one's done now, and that's southwest corner. Nice little blue cone there, left there as well. Nice touch. There's a bit of blue for you. But yeah, as I say, it's our expectations should be high, but like I say, a little perspective as well goes a long way when it comes to this, and getting a new stadium was the absolute forefront of it all, and it's there. Okay, so yeah, I hope nobody thinks I've picked on them or anything like that with picking your comments out. That wasn't the intention. You were not the only ones to bring up those issues and that. But yeah, needed addressing. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. It's gone on for a while. We'll leave it there. Right, guys, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed that video. As I said, it was going over some of the comments and that from yesterday's video when I went into the store, and a few other things as well to pick up on, like the Everton branding outside and that. I get it, right? So I'm not just making the video, and like I say, I'm not picking on people, because loads of people raise the same things. But I just personally think my views on that, and the reason why I want to do it is because my honest view is that like look at what we've got, and look at what we're going to be like sitting in next season. Are there a couple of tweaks? I just call it tweaks. It wouldn't be something that I'd go moaning about though. About the Everton branding outside. It's going to look absolutely amazing when it goes a bit dark. Which it will in the coming months. It's going to start going darker early, and those crests and that are lighting up on the outside. It's going to look amazing. And then the main point is, then we're going to be in there, like sitting in there in that magnificent stadium. So there's that. The stairs in the shop, loads of people, I didn't pick out the worst ones. Loads of people raised issue with the staircase in the shop. It's not an issue, honestly. It's not an issue. I honestly think they'll do a little bit more with it anyway. Personally, I think they will, but it's just not an issue. It's like it's not a problem. And what else is there? There's a few bits, isn't there? There's a few bits. That post that went up on that banter page was just daft, just really daft. Anyone that believed that, whether you're red or blue or whatever you are, if you believe that, it's honestly daft. The 3 people that I seen in the queue between us spent more than what they were claiming Everton made in a day. It's just daft. It's just silly. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope nobody took offence. If I pick your comments out, don't take offence or anything like that. Just picked some comments, and you were not the only ones to raise those things. The reason why I picked those comments is because they were raised by more than one person mainly. Okay, so yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share and subscribe, and let's just enjoy it. Let's enjoy. Okay, cheers, boys. See you later. Bye now.